Alrighty. So like I said, I usually start by looking at your settings and equipment, field mods, crew skills. So can we start with your settings?
Yep.
That's okay. Uh, can scroll down. One thing I would look at already is the preferred sniper mode zoom level. Right now you have it set to 8 times. It's at the top right. I would probably set that to either 2 times or 4 times, just
Okay.
because I find it's easier. It I'm not gonna explain the reasoning why, but I think it's better. You can test it out for yourself. If you find you don't like it, you can always change it back, and that goes for any of these settings recommendations. But that's the first thing I would change. Looking at the rest, usually I have HP and team panels on always, but it's not really important. As long as you have it as an option, like as pressing Alt, that's fine as well. Um, Scroll down a little bit. Tips on the battle loading screen, I would change that to minimap. The reason why I do that is as you're loading in, you can see which spawn you get, basically, and it just helps you start planning a little bit earlier. And then do you ever use two loadouts on a tank? Or not really?
Not really, unless it's like a premium and I'm trying to either credit grind or market.
Okay. Because there's the option configuration switching on loading screen, which I also like, just so that you can switch loadouts sooner. Um, Looks like all your minimap settings and everything, if you scroll all the way down, looks all good to me, so we can move on to graphics. Um, Details and scroll down. Um, yeah, I see some things we could change here. Um, the main one is foliage transparency on the right. I would turn that off. What that will do is make it so that when you're double bushing, or sorry, not when you're double bushing. When you're in a bush, it will just remove a lot of the foliage on your screen. Not only will this improve FPS, but also it's just a lot easier to see through bushes when you're in sniper mode. It might take a little bit of getting used to because you won't necessarily. It'll be a little bit harder to tell if you're actually inside a bush when you're in sniper mode, but it's overall quite a lot better, I think. And here are some other ones. All of these ones that I'm about to mention, I mean, if you like your game to look really good, then I understand if you want to keep them on. But personally, I have grass density all the way off. Uh, it's not actually that one's not as important because as long as you have it off in sniper mode, it's fine. But I just like it off in general, just because it makes it easier on ridge lines to see how much you're over peaking by. And then extra effects quality, especially in sniper mode. In general, it's good to have them low or off because it removes a lot of the smoke and flash from yeah, that's probably good enough, like low and off. Um, and you can always turn those back on if you don't like it, but I would test it out. Um, just
Okay.
because it makes it a lot easier when you're playing around Rex, especially to see what you're looking at, because otherwise smoke gets in the way. I think we can skip over sound and go to controls. Do you know what your DPI is roughly on your mouse?
I don't.
Do you have
Yeah,
like a is it just like you just never adjusted it or anything? If so, it's probably just 800, I would
it's got
guess.
like presets on it. It's one of the Logitech gaming mouses, so it's got presets. I can look them up real quick for you.
Sure, if you want. If it takes a second, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, it looks like it's around 800
Okay,
preset.
that's probably fine then. My sense is higher than that, which generally lower sense is advised. So we'll see how your aim is. I think that's probably gonna be good. Sensitivity. Uh, do you play much EBR or CS63 stuff like that?
No.
O-
Um.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically no.
Okay, because I sometimes have switch mode on like a mouse side button, which I prefer personally, but if you're not really playing those, it doesn't really matter. So we can move on to reticle. Let's see. All of this is fine. I find it kind of cluttered to have like condition on in arcade mode at least, but it's not really important, so you can just keep it however you want. The most important thing is just that you have the the aim point with penetration marker, you know. So this is fine. Sniper mode looks good. Outlining, unless you want to go over artillery settings, but I don't really
No.
know about those. Okay, good.
Absolutely not.
Uh, here's one that you can change for outlining. You can change this back if you don't prefer it, but I really do think it is the better option is to put them on simplified, and you can just look at the TVP on the right, and it'll make sense why you would want to do that. If there's
Yeah.
like extra shit on the tank, it just makes it easier to see and know what you're actually shooting at. Marker on the top right. Uh, I like the auto aim indicator on, but it's not really super important. Okay, our team now. You should change the percent for vehicle health on the top to HP left out of total, in my opinion. It'll just know, like, so if you ever want to know how many hits a certain teammate can take from a certain tank, it'll just help with that. Destroyed. I would change the default to vehicle model for this one. You don't, it's up to you whether you want to keep player name. I keep it off. And then you can also change the percent to none or hide. Just clears up some clutter. Um, battle notifications. I'm not exactly positive whether dynamic indicators. I think dynamic indicators just makes the thing bigger if it's a bigger shell. I don't know if it probably doesn't really matter to be honest. So that one's up to you.
Seems like.
Battle
Okay.
events. I mean this one. Can you press a tabs? Fine. Can you go back to fire direction indicator actually? There's one thing I wanted to check. Okay, never mind. Go to log. For log, this one is again not really that important, but I do it for the bottom. I do receive damage at the top. The reason why I do that is when it separates out the received damage and puts it at the top left. That just makes it easier to see what tank you get hit by. So let's say you get sniped by someone who's unlit, it just lets you know what tank it is, and instead of having to scroll through everything, if you deal damage, you can just look at the top left, and all of that will be there. So another one, not that super important, but map border, fine. Uh, last one probably team HP difference. I would turn that on. That is a useful indicator towards the end of the battle, how much you're winning by or how much you're losing by, which will oftentimes dictate how aggressively you want to play in the end game based on like how much HP you have. Like let's say you suddenly look up at that number and you're up 4,000 or 5,000 HP, um, and you have all your health. That's probably an indicator that if possible you should be trying to play more aggressive to get more damage at the end of the game because the game will be ending soon. It's just a good way to know whether you're winning or losing, I guess. So yeah, you can hit apply, and that should be all for settings. Uh, let's see. Can we look at crew skills next? Just go through your commander. I'm just gonna look. Uh, I think personally for the commander, if you click on it just one of the crew skills, excuse me, on the Sente X, this is just a general thing, but except for like light tanks, I even do this on light tanks, but it's most important on like heavies and mediums. I would definitely pick emergency over camouflage because it's just a really strong crew skill. If you're getting shot, it'll make your DPM better for 15 seconds and your accuracy and whatnot. So, um, yeah, if you have free resets, I probably would do it. And I would probably do Brothers in Arms, repairs, and then I don't know whether to pick recon or emergency for last. It depends on which view range you have. I probably would go with emergency, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Either way is fine. Okay. And just in case you were wondering, the next crew skill I'd pick for that is probably not even camo still. It would still be, for me, coordination probably is the next one I would pick. And that's not going to be true for all mediums. Like Bat Chat, you definitely would want to have camo. Uh, but just with the CAX, it's base camo already. If you scroll down on the right, it's like it's okay camo, but it's nothing crazy. And a lot of the time, I'm just gonna be trying to play hold down with the CAC somewhere anyways. Or if I'm sniping, I won't really need the camo because I'll be playing at like a rock position or something where I can get safe. So I just don't think camo is the strongest skill. Gunner now. For the gunner, uh, it's the same story in my opinion. Instead of Deadeye, I would pick, or either I. Okay, so I see you're dropping repairs on one. I think that's okay. Can you scroll up to survivability on the right? Oh, it's right there. So look at the survivability. Look at the suspension repair time right now. It says 7.19 under survivability. I generally try to get, for non-light tanks, I try to get my track repair time at least down to around 5 seconds. Because it can, like 7 seconds is quite a while. And it varies based on the tank because tanks have different base values for their track repair time, but I feel like 7 is just a little bit too much. So I would probably reset this crew member and pick repairs for one of them. I would do Bia repairs. And then personally, what I would pick next would be snapshot and armorer. The reason for armorer is it makes it's kind of like an aiming unit in a way. It makes your gun fully aim 1.5% more, which is, in my opinion, a good deal. It also will help your bloom while moving because reducing your fully aimed accuracy also has an effect on your bloom. So, and then it will give you, well, I guess that's just the main reason why I pick it, to be honest. So yeah, um, that's fine. I mean, Deadeye I think would be okay, but I just prefer the accuracy ones. By the way, if you have any questions, just let me know.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't messed with this crew since the update. I really haven't played this tank,
okay.
so
Y-
this
I
is
would
helping a lot.
I would reset this one as well. Um, so Brothers in Arms, repairs, yep. Definitely needs repairs. And then for the last one, or for the next one, I almost always, unless it's a tank that like needs camo, like Bat Chat, I would pick off-road driving, actually. Even if it has relatively good terrain resistances, off-road driving got a buff. Which I'm not gonna explain exactly how it works, but basically it it's a pretty significant buff to your mobility. So I'd pick that next. And then lastly, I would probably, what's your top speed right now under mobility? 55, it looks like. You could, here, this one is kind of up to you. I would pick engineer probably, but you could go with control impact, clutch braking, or smooth ride. I would probably go engineer, smooth ride though. Okay. Um, Last one. Yeah, you can. I got. Wait. You might not. Okay, it's fine.
Oh, I mean,
I
we'll go through it.
Brothers in Arms, probably repairs. What's your repair time right now, by the way? 6.07.
Mhm.
Still not ideal, but it's just because it has bad track repair time, I think is just the reason why it's so high, and because of field mods probably. So intuition for sure, because this tank has three useful ammo types. And then for the last one, typically the order I'll do it in after this would be ammo tuning and then adrenaline rush. Um, if it's got like really bad shell velocity like the 430U, then I would also potentially pick perfect charge. But this thing has APCR and its heat shells aren't very slow either, so I would go with ammo tuning. I know it might seem like adrenaline rush would be the more obvious choice, but I just think the way the math works out, ammo tuning is generally better. What ammo tuning does is increase it basically will increase your average damage per shot by around 1.1%, or if you have like vents and food and stuff, 1.4%. And it will also increase your penetration by that same value, which is just, I think, better than adrenaline rush, because adrenaline rush only works when you're under 25%, and a lot of games you won't even go down to 25% hit points if you're winning, so it just makes more sense to pick ammo tuning generally, in my opinion. So yeah, that's good. Uh, and then radio, I would, mm, this one I would personally probably pick situational and firefighting. This thing gets set on fire fairly often, I think, right? Fuel tanks, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably do that. All right, so let's look at field mods next.
So this
Uh,
one I haven't played. If you line me out, I'll
oh,
actually write this down.
okay. Um, yeah, I can just type it out for you real quick,
Okay.
or you can write it down in the chat. I'll list it off. So I would go, excuse me, left, right, left, and then for the top right one, I would do. Can I see your view range right now? 476. This one, if you're gonna be using vents, you could probably can you feel hover over the thing? I think it's +2 kilometers per hour. This one is kind of arguable. I would either do neither or left for that one. Just up to you. I would probably pick left, but that's just me. Um, Last one. This one. So if you run hardening on the Senti-X, which will increase your track health, then you could probably consider picking left, because then it will actually be hard to two-track you. But if you're not gonna run uh run hardening, then I would probably, if you hover over it again, I think I would pick right, because of the 10% suspension repair speed. Because if you look at survivability right now, it's still 6 seconds, which in my opinion is too long. So if you're not gonna run hardening, I would pick right for that one. Just to get that down lower. You're gonna get insta-tracked by everything, but I just feel like that's what your repair kit's for, I guess. I mean, it sucks, but it's kind of just a trade-off. And then for the slot, you're using standard equipment, right?
Yes. For now.
So for now, okay. So in case you're still using standard, what does it get? I usually use bond, so I don't even know what kind of slots can it get access to. It looks like hardening, or because the base slot on mediums is mobility, so hardening and spotting I think are the two that it can get. Uh, so that one is just depends on what equipment you're using, I guess. If you use hardening, then obviously use a hardening slot. If you're using CVS or something, then spotting. So we can look at equipment now. I think this equipment is perfectly fine. For most players, I would probably recommend rammer, V-stab, hardening, and if you have experimental, that's even better. But This is fine as well. It's one thing I did notice though in your Centix, looking at your stats, is that your survival rating is quite low compared to like your heavy tanks. And so I do think that if you were, I mean, I know you might not have the credits for it right now or whatever, but if you might want to consider putting hardening on your medium tanks in the future, just to help with that survivability rating, and I would put it over vents if you do that. So yeah, I'll just leave that up to you. You don't have to change it if you don't want to right now or in the future, but
Right. I'll try
yeah.
it out like this for now, but we'll
All
definitely
right.
keep that in mind.
Okay. All good. And then the last thing I would do is for your ammo, I would add like one or two more HE from heat, just because the HE on this thing is really solid. 105 pen, 480 alpha, that's solid. So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna. All of this was all free, by the way. This part. So the hour
Right.
actually will start when we go into game. Do you have any special modes selected, like assault and encounter, just out of curiosity?
Now,
Okay, that's fine. All right. So yeah, whenever you're ready. But yeah, that's the first thing I noticed when looking at your stats. It's one of the only things I can tell by looking at your stats, but I can tell that um we're probably gonna have to work on playing passive at times to increase your survival rating just so you can get more end game damage. So Mountain Pass. So what do you usually do on this map? Where do you usually go? Just
yeah, I
wondering.
usually play this. I tried to go to that little hill at J2.
Okay.
If
I think that's fine. Yeah. So if you want to do that, sure.
okay,
Um, are credits a big concern for you? Like, are you okay with firing a decent amount of gold? Or are you
yeah,
just like okay?
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Because I'm looking at their team list. They have so the first thing to note here is what do you think is going to happen when you get to that spot? Like, uh, there's going to be some artilleries. So there's two arties. So that's the first thing I notice when I get into this game is the artillery on this map in particular. Go playing at that position, the arties can be brutal. So you have to try to
Mhm.
hug the rock. And the other thing I notice, which let me know if you notice anything right now. Is there anything you notice?
No one's coming with me.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good situational awareness. You could either hold at G1 or you could just rotate out and go somewhere else.
See, this is where I struggle is finding another position at this point if no one's
Okay.
coming with me.
Yeah, yeah. So I would actually say that going south is still okay because if
Okay.
you pay attention, both their IS-7s just got lit. So I would go south right now to G2 and just hold at that rock. Sure, there's only one guy with you, but if you look at what's spotted already on the enemy team, there really is not too much more that can actually push you. And as long as your Yag will turn later, I wouldn't commit, but like just playing here is
Yeah.
probably completely fine because this is a pretty strong position. You can get a free shot as they cross here. And I would pre-aim a little bit further away from the corner just to give yourself a little bit more reaction time. Yeah, that's probably fine. So their mediums aren't, if you pay attention, they're Leo and Foch and Batchet. They're not seeing anything right now, so they're probably gonna turn and start pushing here soon. I would still not push up, even though this guy is going, just because it's a 3v2. But you can just cover this guy. Looks like your Yag is coming up behind you. Nice. And then you gotta be careful of getting pinned in the turret here. I would not poke this. If you, because he's kind of shooting down on your upper turret. Okay, now you can peek. I would think about running soon if you like after one shot or just now. Just run
Yeah.
now. Yeah, okay. They'll take a while to kill your Yag, so this is okay still, as long as you just dodge to the dodge when you get out, so make sure they don't bleed you. You just leave this guy to die, honestly. You need to keep going as far as you can because there's gonna be a lot on that corner. I would dodge. I would go towards the 4005 right now on your team. I'd go towards the bridge. Nice shot. This might be a little bit of a stinker game, but at least you got out with all your HP. You can still trade with somebody. And so now you can either shoot the ST2 or you can try to get shots into these guys as they come in. I would peek wide for one shot and then just reverse. Just peek wide for one shot. I think you can do this. If not, no, you can't. You can't back up. The thing is in the way. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Should I have waited for the track repair there, or was that just bad?
No, that was fine. Okay. So in this situation, you just gotta be patient and try to get free damage as best you can without bleeding, which won't be easy in this situation, but you can stay safe at least. Oh, not from Artie though. Um, I would heal that. And can you side scrape this IS-4 from the right, or I know the Foch B might be covering. I just think that you might be able to peek him if you're careful, but you gotta be careful of the Foch B. He's in the bushes, so it's not worth peeking this anymore. You have to be careful of the Artie as well, so try to dodge a little bit. Okay, this guy's pushing. Back behind that rock, and then shoot him in the track maybe, or just pen him. Okay. Well, not the best first battle, but I'm trying to think of what you could have done differently. I guess probably, now that I think about it, I think the main thing that would have probably turned this pretty not great result into a good result is if instead of rotating towards the 4K5, which this is my fault for telling you this, you shouldn't have gone towards the 4K. You should have just eaten the hits and gone left and went up to B2, I guess. You know what I mean? Um, it's unfortunate that they already hit you, but
Yeah, that's one of my
like
big problems with mediums. Is just knowing when to rotate and where to go
mhm.
to. I don't know if it's lack of experience in medium tanks, but it's really just I'll get into a spot like that. I had the awareness to know that my team has really no help there,
Mhm.
and it's just knowing what position to fall back to still make it my tank effective.
Right. Yeah, well, we can definitely have a emphasis on that in this session. Um, definitely we'll focus on rotations. I think you would have. It might have been a mistake to stay at G2 for as long as you did, but I probably would have stayed, to be honest, like you did. Um, as long as you're able to get out as they're killing the Yag, even if you take like 2 shots, it's fine because you got a little bit of bleed on them in the beginning, so it wasn't terrible. Um, it's just kind of unfortunate, I guess. I mean, Mountain Pass isn't with 2 RD isn't the best, especially when you can't play J2. But yeah. Um, and it's up to you if you want to just go next to another tank or if you want to wait. I'm
You can
fine
do
with
that.
either. Okay.
I don't have a lot of tier 10s. I'm going a lot of lines
Yep.
right now, but
That's the other thing I noticed. You have around like 10K battles or 12K battles, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you don't have that. I looked at your tier 10s. You don't have like that many games in tier 10. So it's understandable that you're still struggling in tier 10 mediums because honestly, at 10K games, and only having played, I think it was like 500 battles in tier 10s, a lot of those being in heavy tanks, it's it's gonna take a little bit of time to start to learn um
Mhm.
how to do great in mediums. So yeah, is there another tank you wanted to play, or you just want to wait for the scent?
So with like tier 10 heavies, the SCOG,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm pretty comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll get back to that one, but that's another one where I know the positions to go to, and then it's just finding the right time to rotate, especially in a slower heavy tank,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to get into another position and still be effective later in the game without bleeding too much.
Right. Yeah.
Or I have a habit of falling back too early, I guess, and then my team
Mm-hmm.
will still either win or break pretty even. There's enough hit point loss to where I don't get the damage out.
Okay. So I will talk about that problem. You can go into battle. I'll talk about that problem and specifically of how to get endgame damage. So the most important thing for endgame damage is realizing whether you're winning or losing and recognizing that early. And you need to, first of all, hopefully preserve enough HP so that at the end game you can do a lot of damage. But also there are three main factors that I look at as to whether we're gonna win or they're gonna win and by how much. The first factor is that HP difference. On the top left, you can see that it says minus 760 right now. See that? So I look
Yeah,
at that. I look at that. That'll tell me whether we're up or down HP. Usually, if you're up by more than 3,000 HP or 4,000 HP, it means you're winning pretty hard. Um, if it's like 2,000, then it's a closer game. And if you're down like 3,000 or 4,000, then you're probably losing. The other thing I look at, I would just probably snipe at the start. I don't know where you usually go, but I would just snipe from here and just be careful of blind shots. You can just go to the right side of that bush. Um, the other things I look at are map control. So whether your team has better control of the map, like if on mines you have the hill, for example. I would peek into this bush, by the way. Like you can just peek it periodically. You don't have to full peek, but just to get spotting on the mid. And this is a good time to actually look at the foliage transparency thing. Go into sniper mode. You see how it's so much clearer?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot better.
Okay, so yeah, I would just snipe for the squall. And on shots like that, I would also aim in a little bit more, just to make it easier to aim, personally. You just get a little more precision. But that was still a fine shot, but... And from this position here, they do have like an... Okay, the FV is city, so you don't have to worry about getting blind shot by him, but you don't have to be too scared of blind shots, just don't like constantly just sit in the bush. But your squall should spot something, he's moving up. Nice. And since they don't really have anybody mid, most likely, you don't necessarily have to even double bush. I mean, you can, but... The other thing you can do from this position is take blind shots on their TD position. So no one will be spotting for a little bit unless this force spirit spots somebody. You don't need to double bush right now. There's... Okay, there's someone on the zero line. You gotta get safe now. That means that their light tank has moved up on the zero line. Oh,
We're about
whoops.
right here.
Yep, yeah. You can peek from the left side once you're unlit and just blind their TDs. To the right, I would blind to the right side of C8. The right side, just aim in to the right of the pipes. More towards the, yeah, right there. And just take a blind shot at that. Okay. Now, poke the right, poke the right. Look at your Foss. He's driving forward. Okay, he's not spotting anything, but it's just looking at the mini map and recognizing when you need to be aimed at the zero line and when it's okay to take a blind shot or two.
Mhm.
And if you look at the enemy comp right now, look at what's lit and what's not, you'll notice that it's the light tank unlit, and then three tank destroyers and a T-54A1. So you can load APCR real quick and just peek the right and blind that pipe again. And you want to blind close to the pipe, because that's usually where they are. Right there is good. Okay. Okay, so you get spotted again. That's fine. Just get already safe. Hug the building. Your forest spirit is kind of pushing up. You recognize that, right?
Yeah.
So there's a good chance he's gonna get blapped. So I would peek from the left. I don't think they're blind firing your position much, so I wouldn't. You don't have to be too scared. It's more important to be peeked and ready for a shot. And you shouldn't get spotted on the left, I don't think, because I think there's squalls on the right on the 0 line. Might be wrong about that, but I think so. So their force spirit just got hit by the E3, I think. He might die to someone at the pipes. Their Foch is going up. Your Foch is moving up. Um, your team, you notice anything right now?
Kind of losing the West,
Yeah,
and
we're
then we're
kind of
down.
losing. Um,
Not down a whole lot, but
so one thing I'm thinking right now is you could rotate back towards the city.
back to our
Talking
city.
about rotations, because this Foch is not going to outlight that light tank, probably.
Yeah.
So I would just leave and go to the city and just brawl there. Probably load heat for their heavies, maybe. Actually, don't necessarily need it, but it's up to you. You can just rotate into the city, and you still full HP, and as long as you can play hull down. What is a Rambo? That's like the new tank, right? Yeah. You
Yeah,
can
that's the
pen you can you
103.
you can pen like all these tanks pretty easily. So I would probably go up the 1 line most likely. And just try to push this side. You have to be careful of the 4K obviously. So be careful when poking the 1 line just to make sure he's not there before you go. But you want to end up in the position where the M3Y is most likely. Okay, your 54E1 went without getting shot, so Rambo is probably peeking. You can shoot him. Nice. And tuck in, tuck in. Go to the right, go to the right. You don't want to get shot from A1 in case the 4K is there. Alright, and I think you can slowly pressure in the city. Gotta be careful of the 4K, but you can shoot this DZT in the turret and pen him. Nice. 4K just fired. Push him, push him. Load HE. Go, go, go.
Should wait for intuition.
That's fine, that's fine. Now, you can probably get in 2 shots before he reloads, but if your M3Y gets in a shot as well, then he dies. So just make sure you hit your shots. Keep going. And he might turn, so be careful. Yeah, get around. Okay, nice. I wouldn't have committed there. I would have just shot him and then backed up. But that worked out, so it's fine. Okay, so load APCR, and then I would push through their base right now and try to get Artie. You got to be quick about this because you're probably gonna lose the south. I would just cut across. You don't have to go to A1. Just load HE actually. Oh, never mind. You can farm this guy. Okay, kill that Artie real quick. Nice shot. I would go for the Artie. They're gonna be a pain later on, so I didn't know they were both at A1 to be honest, but most likely after killing these Arties, you might have to go back to base if they push through and kill your Scorpion. Otherwise, you could push the Ferdinand. Just make sure you don't take an Artie hit here. Okay. That's fine. I didn't realize the Ferdy pushed up, but make sure you superstructure here. Nice. It's unfortunate that he pushed up like that. Okay, switch ammo types. You could flank this guy right now by going around him potentially. Um, just you even if the SU rotated back, you can take a hit from him, so it's okay. I would peek this cautiously and just peek for a shot and just make sure you don't take a hit from the Ferdinand here. But he shouldn't be looking at you. And he is. Okay, nice shot. Very nice shot. Okay. That SU is a one shot, which is good. If you can get the jump on him somehow, that's really nice. Something just shot at you. Might
It's
be
in
the
the ISU.
ISU with the small gun, maybe. I think the SU went to like D4 or something. I think he can, I don't know. There's the SU. Yeah, you might be able to peek this Ferdinand and just take the hit from him and kill him. Potentially. No, no, you can't. No, you can't. Track him, maybe? Okay, get safe from the SU. Nice. This SU is not peeking, so you're good. Try to track this guy as he comes around, if he comes around for you. And try to kite around. You have to turn a little for gun depression if he goes. Yeah, like that. That's okay. The SU is going out. Try to kill the SU if possible.
Oh,
Ah,
you got it
that's
very low.
okay. That's unfortunate the SU didn't fire. That was a nice battle though. 5 kills,
Yeah,
3,800. Nice shots at the end on the Ferdinand and avoiding that shot. It's just I think it's just kind of bad luck that the Ferdinand pushed up there and shot you when you're in A1. I really didn't expect that. Um, but personally, I think you shouldn't have just drove right over into the arties. You can just play hull down on them, and then they have basically no chance of shooting you. It looked like you were going to drive in no matter what, or did you drive in because you saw the Ferdinand get lit?
I drove in because I committed to driving in before I saw the Ferdinand got lit because I figured he would try to do that to get me.
Okay,
I guess I could have gone a little bit wider and tried to give myself more time with that building there, but
okay then. Okay. I didn't figure he would do that, so that's a good call by you. Unfortunately, he still hit you, but yeah,
it's
nice battle. Did you get a blind or no? Probably not.
uh,
I don't think so. No. It's not like reliable blinds on that TD position, but it's worth going for if you know that nothing's gonna get lit on the 0 line. You just have
mhm.
to pay attention to like, whether your team is likely to spot someone on the 0 line or not to know whether you can blind shoot. All right. Would you have recognized that rotation to go to the city by yourself or
I would
probably
have
not?
recognized it probably a little bit later than you told me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's the kind of thing where you look for, especially when you're on a flank that's either gonna fail or nothing's really going on the flank and you aren't
Mhm.
really getting anything out of it, then sometimes you can rotate like that. Okay, this
So
map.
this
What
one
do
I
you?
struggle with mediums a lot.
Okay, so I would not go to the hill. I would go to F0, F0 the rock, and
Okay.
just snipe. Um, I usually do not like to commit up the hill on this map because it's just too risky, especially looking at the enemy comp. They have a Charfuture, they have a DZT as well. The DZT is almost certainly going to go up the hill. So I wouldn't risk it. And I would go towards that rock and just snipe. Uh, you can double bush as well. It's probably worth double bushing this time. If you pay attention to the map, you got a lot of mediums who are gonna go up. That's fine. Doesn't mean you have to follow them necessarily. You just snipe for them in the beginning, and make sure you're peeked on the corner. Um, in a second, yeah, so that you can get the shot as early as possible. I wouldn't worry too much. You can peek from the right side as well if needed. Okay, nice. Good start. Um, One thing, so there is someone just blinding this. You can just go into the corner you see to your left, like by that
Mhm.
big rock. Just drive
Okay.
drive to that rock. Drive to that rock. Drive. Okay, no, the I7's coming in. You can't. Just shoot the I7 and okay, that's fine. That's fine. Um, so before I knew you might get a shot on the I7 actually. No, no. Okay, so this corner here, you can kind of double bush from here, or you're just like out of spotting range. And the advantage of playing here sometimes, if you notice you're getting blinded, is no one almost ever blinds on this side, so nice. Might get lit. No. The other thing about this position is if no one is spotting that corner where the Kalana's at,
Mhm.
and you have no other shots, sometimes you can just blind the Kalana corner. I wouldn't do it now because I mean you can give it one shot a little lower. Okay, that's fine. But like the 705 was crossing, so it's not a big deal. I would already think about rotating. if you just look at the map, your team has won this side basically. You're probably not going to get much else by pushing through. I would just rotate out. And I would go all
Would
the
you
way back.
rotate?
Yes, all the
Oh,
way back to
here.
base. And the reason why is the 13105 has mid control, which means you can't play like you can't play where like the XM is or anything. You have to play all the way up. Otherwise, the 13105 can spot you and you'll get screwed over. $13.05. If you get a shot on the 13105, it's really good. I don't know if you can, but yeah, he's kind of driving in the open, but you can't. But he's the most important tank to kill in this situation, basically. So yeah, you can just play up here, mostly hold down. No one should. The only place you can get shot from is mid, and I don't think they have anybody mid, so you can just play here and shoot them. It's okay to peek fully. Nice. I noticed you never use 16 times or 25 times zoom. You have that setting off, right?
Uh, no, I do. I never scroll in that far.
Okay. So at ranges like that, I honestly kind of recommend it. I just think it
Okay.
makes it a little bit easier to aim. But aim for his side a little more. Yeah, like a little. Okay, you came for his front now, but I would go to the right and just fight this guy. You have a SU behind you. You should be able to take this fight if he pushes up. And if you pay attention, you're up 5k HP right now. You see that? You're full HP. This is where I would start thinking about making risky trades. Now, you don't have to now because this guy's pushing up and it's two autoloaders, so I wouldn't do it yet, but just be ready to trade soon because okay, there you gotta aim more at his front. I would back up now. This guy looks like he wants to YOLO. Hopefully that SU hits him. Keep turning turret. Okay, nice. And I would push this guy now. He's down one shot. He has a really long reload. He can only shoot you twice. Just don't like fully commit onto him. Just try to just peek him. This might have been more risky than I thought. I would back up now in case he reloaded. And just get one more shot and then back up around the corner. Heal driver. Okay, I think you should have backed up a little bit sooner there. I think if you had healed your driver and backed up more to the left, I think you would have been okay, to be honest. But that's one thing I wasn't able to really explain to you, but in that situation, I thought it was likely he only had 2 shells left, but he also could have reloaded, and he has a 3-shot autoloader, and in that case you're one clippable. So this is also where not having hardening can really, if you had hardening, you would have lived, and also you wouldn't have gotten one-shot track if you have hardening plus the last field mod, I think. So that's the benefit of hardening, but either way, I mean, this game might actually slow down and you could even technically lose it. So maybe that was too aggressive. Maybe I shouldn't have told you to do that, but
It's still better than I usually do. So
all right, that's good at least. So yeah, I think the main takeaway from that game is that initial position. Where do you usually go? Do you usually just go up the hill?
I
Or
actually usually play north with mediums,
oh,
but I
okay.
haven't played that map in a while, and I don't know when the meta kind of changed on that map where all the heavies run north. I think that was like a year ago. People started doing that,
Hmm. I
and they do
generally
that
don't
heavy push.
I generally don't like north from that side
Mhm.
because when you cross, there's like a gap you cross if you're gonna fully take the north, and they can just bleed you on the cross there, and I find it quite risky. And also sometimes you're forced to fight in the corner of the map, kind of hold down, and it's just kind of random whether whether you get overran or whether you overrun them. And it's kind of like the hill where you're just kind of committing. You take bleed at the start potentially, and then you commit, and then you get overran. It's kind of risky, is my point. Whereas just sniping at the start, you just get usually 2 or 3 guaranteed shots. Quite often, even more than that, if you blind the corner, if no one's spotting it, and you just get free damage with heat, and just more passive, which I think is probably, especially for you, a good idea. Um, would you have recognized that rotation? I mean, I know the
Yeah,
rotation didn't. Okay.
I was starting to see it because we kind of ran out of stuff at the south and then
Mm-hmm.
north. I I saw we were pretty much confined to the base.
Right.
I I was kind of waiting on it, but I
Right.
don't have a good reason why I was waiting on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So oftentimes on that map, you'll win the hill, and then it can be quite hard to push through after that.
Mhm.
You can sometimes go down and go into the low ground and play hull down on the people, but all they had there was like a Kalana and he was backing off, so it wasn't worth doing in that situation. Okay, airfield. By the way, if you run standard hardening, boosted hardening in the Cent, you get 536 track health with the last field mod, and that's kind of why I run hardening, is that guy wouldn't have been able to track you in that situation.
Yeah.
It's just nice. Okay. I would probably go up to the perch. You know what I'm talking about?
No, up here.
F6, yes, F6. I think and you want to be as fast as possible doing this. I wouldn't slow down at all. Just try to get there as fast as possible because you can bleed on the way up from like the 260. You might take a shot, hopefully not 2 shots. It's kind of just RNG whether you get unlucky or not, but in this game, what I'm looking at is they have 2 artillery. So middle on this map is sometimes okay in a medium like this, especially with gun depression and an okay turret. Nice shot. But with 2 artillery, it's just almost unplayable. So I would just play passive up on the perch here, and you can peek out wide after you get unlit. Just see what's up. You should be unlit now. You can just peek. Can maybe shoot this guy. Okay, he does light you. Now this map is very much about just playing passive because it's really hard to push on this map usually. And so you usually want to let the game develop before doing anything. I would just sit here and pre-aim on his cupola. I don't think he's gonna blind you easily. And you shouldn't get lit because I think you're behind the bush now, fully. He might cross. Go forward, go forward, go forward. You can shoot him. Okay, never mind. Okay, nice. You saw he's going in the low ground there, the
Yeah.
STB. You can't peek him quite yet now because you're lit, but he was gonna go there and you could have got a free shot. So, but the V4 peaks, so it's fine. Yeah, I would peek him right now, real quick, just a quick peek. Okay, didn't quite get it. I think he could have got the peek there if you're a little bit quicker on it. But yeah, that's what this position. You can shoot the middle like this. You can shoot that cross where the STB is, which is usually where I'm peeking and looking. If nothing is going on, just to see if someone crosses. I wouldn't be too scared of blinds. Nice. And now you back up though, just in case. But and then the other thing you can do, which I don't think you can do right now, but is turn around and play where like the concept 5 is. If you look behind you, just look at where the
Mhm.
concept 5 is, and you can play kind of a oh yeah, you can kind of play on that corner, but it's kind of risky to poke that corner. So yeah, I think you just keep waiting here. Game is even on HP. Seems like a pretty stagnant game. And yeah, I would just keep waiting. There's pretty much only one play you can make on this map later on, which is to go up the middle and into kind of F5. But you can only do that when you have mid control, which you don't have right now fully. So it's not worth it. If you... Okay, so one thing right here, if you peek like way to the left, like if you look, go like vertical so I can see above. If you peek like way to... Okay, never mind. Back up, back up. Never mind. What I was gonna explain is pretty niche anyway. I'm not gonna bother explaining it. I don't think it's worth it. But it's technically possible to shoot that TVP. I think is my point. But it's not necessary to know that really. Try to stay out of proxy of this guy if possible. The E4, I mean. Just so that you aren't getting lit constantly. Okay, M5Y. There is one possible rotation you could make right now, which is to go back into your spawn, your base, but I don't think it's worth it right now.
Are you talking about like coming back
Yeah,
up over
yeah.
here?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's worth it though. So, I would just chill still. You can go to the right now. Go to the right. Turn and go. Turn around. You see that corner where the V4 is? I think you can peek that right now. The 4K does not have an angle on you there, I don't think. So you can just come here and just pre-aim like the V4 is doing. No one should be there. Might get a free shot if somebody peeks. I mean, you can... I just wanted to show you this spot. Like, you can... If you go where, like, the V4 is, you can be, like, semi-hold down when that... and peek this, you know what I mean? So, I probably would peek the other side now. Instead, I don't think they're gonna peek this. Oh. Unlucky. But it looks like your team is kind of winning now, but it's still pretty close. Oh, I would join this push and try to get a shot or two on the E4 if he shoots, which I think he did. Could be wrong.
If he did or not.
Okay. I think you can outplay this guy. Play hold down on him. Go for side turret, side turret. Okay, never mind. Nice. Nice. Good job. You can push a perch right now. You gotta do it quick or else the 4K will reload, but... Oh no. Unlucky. Don't peek too high here, be careful. I think this is a bad idea. I would leave the perch. It's too susceptible to Artie. Wait for your Bliskowitza to push out that 4K. Actually, you can stay maybe. Wait for your Bliskowitza to push out the 4K5 and just try to stay safe for now and get ready for a shot on the 4K in case you get spotted. Your Blisk should just push into him. And then you're gonna win the north side of the map basically, and then the perch will become a usable position. Hopefully your 4K has the balls to actually push him though. But now you're down to 650 HP. Man, he got a juicy roll on you, 1300. You can peek, bro. You should check in third person technically, but okay. I would go to the other side of the perch, go up the perch a little bit and get ready to peek. Maybe they might spot something. Might be able to get a shot on mid as well. It's debatable whether you should start cautiously peeking. Like you could cautiously peek. It's kind of risky, so it's up to you. 260 on your left. Yeah, just back down now. The Artie can shoot you. I think you should rotate right now. Rotate back to your own perch. I think this spot is just too risky right now. Yeah, that's why. That's fine. Just go back to your own perch. Your team is winning, but it's still kind of close. I would just go to this corner and see what you can see here. And get ready for a shot on something. Can you press Alt and look at the HP on the minimap? I'm just curious. Okay. Okay. 268 version 4 is a one shot. That's good to know. And and this is why I like having on the team panels the HP always, set to always instead of alt. It's just so that I can always see how much HP they are. You don't have to do it on the mini map necessarily, but I don't see any obvious way to pressure right now. Can you overpeak for that guy? No, never mind. Okay, so you see where that TBP is?
Mhm.
You can take a blind shot at that bush. Oh, nice. Good. Okay, one of the arties is dead. That's good. Um, I would be tempted to push up to middle now, up to like G5 maybe, or you can rotate back towards your 100, whatever you think is better. I don't think you're gonna get anything from the perch right now. You can just yeah, you could have just jumped down from the perch, but this works too. I don't think the TVP is watching this angle. You still gotta be careful of Artie, but how much HP are your teammates here? Can they push to the V4 or no? No, they're kind of low. But yeah, Artie just fired, so it's okay to peek. You can just see if you get spotted. If you get spotted, you can take a blind. You're not spotted. Okay. I'm not I would probably go to A5 right now and cover your Blisk, but I don't know. They're just not peeking. They're just kind of camping, so it's hard. I think the 260 is the one who's most likely to make a play, so I'll just cross back and head towards the north to cover your Blisk, probably. But it's hard to say where you should be in this situation, honestly. I'm just looking at like the TVP and the Sturv, they're just gonna camp. I know that pretty much for a fact. So it's kind of just trying to get angles on the 260 and V4, which the V4 is safe right now, and the 260, he's like maybe gonna push the Blisk, but probably not. So I don't know. I would just go up to these rocks and A5, B5. And by the way, if you're shooting the side of a 260, APCR is generally gonna be better. Okay, he is pushing, but he died. That's good though. Um, I think your best bet is going to be to go. You can start moving up a little bit. Just I think that we're gonna try to get underneath the TVP potentially, but you're low HP, so preferably no. We should play passive. We should play passive. Go to your own perch on your side, just back towards mid. They have the HP advantage right now. None of your tanks have HP. Like the Bliss doesn't have HP. You don't have HP. The M5Y doesn't have HP. They have some HP still on their TVP and Sturv. They should they should push. There's 3 minutes left on this game. Even if you have to wait until the last minute, they should push. It's not a guarantee, but if they don't push, then at like 1 minute 30 seconds, then you can make a gamble play and try to push in. I think if you spot check here, see if you get lit, just like peek up a little bit. You might be able to take these bushes here and spot that V4. You just gotta be. I wouldn't necessarily shoot him, but you can at least spot him for RD. Just like peek in these bushes. You shouldn't get lit from anywhere in these bushes, so you can just extend some vision further. I don't know where the V4 is. It's the main thing. He just killed your RD. He's in your base. You can shoot that. He won't spot you. Okay. I think you should push the base with your Blisk right now. And ask your M5Y to come with. And just like ping it. And just head towards the TVP right now. Well, the TVP is one shot. Okay. Yeah, you guys definitely can push this. You can take a hit from the Sturv, so as long as you go up through mid, I think. Yeah, the V4 is not covering, so you can just go behind him. And as long as you don't take a hit from the TVP, you will be able to hopefully kill the Sturv. Nice shot. I would go for the Sturv here if you're going for DPG. If you want to play for the win, you can, but it's up to you. I would go for the serve. I think the serve ran. He's probably an H2, or he could be middle, so I would head towards that direction. There's the serve. He's in your base. It's up to you now what you want to do. Either cap or go back. Capping would probably guarantee the win, most likely. So it's up to you.
If we get a shot
I'm a greedy horse, so I would go for the damage. You could still win. You can still win this way, so like it's possible to win if you can permatrack this guy or get around him. And you just gotta drive right at the cap. If you reset him as well, you should. No, yeah, you win. Even if, as long as you get a reset on him, you will win the game because your team is capping in time, just barely. I think. It's really close, but I would load out APCR here, just for easier track shots. And you can zoom out in third person right now to see which way he's turning. You can take a hit, so just go forward. Nice. Alright, nice work. So yeah, a lot of rotating this game. A lot of the rotations didn't work out, but to be honest, like, they weren't moving much, so it was kind of just like guesswork at where they're gonna be. But yeah, that perch position is probably the best position for mediums. If they have no artillery, then you can play middle instead. But perch is, if you're in a fast enough tank, which the Cent is, just barely, it's the most standard position on that map. Any thoughts on that battle or something?
No, it was helpful knowing how to work the perch because the position that the V4 was in, I played that a lot in I played that a lot in the super comp, being able to be hold down there. I just didn't know how to work the top of it.
Yeah.
That helps out a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right, so this map, this is where a hardening loadout would be really nice, but you could either YOLO to F5, which I probably wouldn't because you don't have hardening or turbo and it's too slow, or you can go to G2. I would probably go to G2 personally. The F5 position is extremely strong, but if you can't make it there alive, then it's not worth going. So go right here, and go to G2 F2, and just peek that corner there, and aim towards the field. You want to go kind of like around the corner a little bit. Actually it's fine because they're taking mid, but yeah, just go there. I would load APCR here. And you can just get a couple free shots here on the right. And you just got to be a little bit careful not to get shot back by the Leo, but nice. But you can get some free damage here. Nice. I would peek for one more. You could get shot in return, but I think it's worth a gamble. Okay, doesn't work out, but that's okay. 1 for 1 is still okay.
Back to
Enough. There. Yeah, I would back up now. This spot is too risky now to peek. Yeah, you could go to G1 right now. Be careful on the cross though. Just be careful that you don't get spotted and like shot too much. And I would load heat as well, because it could overpeak. And now I would stop right now. Did you get spotted? No, you didn't get spotted. You can go forward. So if you got spotted there, I would have stopped for a second just so that they don't know you're gonna peek G1 instantly, you know, and just get unlit before you do it. But you can peek G1.
You peek window or around?
Left, not the window. And just be careful peeking this. It's gonna be, you're not spotted, so you can get in the shot. Unlucky. Now it's just, you just gotta be careful. I would peek it and pen his side. He's not like aimed right now. Oh, okay, never mind. Just back off, I guess. That was a lucky shot by that guy. Usually you can't get shot through that window if you're this low profile, but he just like barely got one, I think. So you've lost two shots of HP now. Now it's time to be relatively passive and just try to be cheeky with your shots. Okay. I don't know if he's looking or not. You can third person it. The E5 shouldn't be able to hit that shot through the window easily, but you don't need to hug the window either. You can like peek wide-ish. So I would just keep third personing. Be ready to peek wide. Like I would turn your hull more leftwards a little bit. Okay, he's and if he over peeks again, you can get a free shot on this guy real quick maybe. It's risky to not just snap that one, I'll say. You do out reload him, by the way. You could have went for another shot. It's too late now, but um you could have got a cupola shot there, potentially. I would back up. And just spray him the right for now. You can get a shot here. Oh, careful, careful. Okay, nice. When you see him start aiming at you, you're low HP enough that you really don't want to take a shot here if possible. Just take like guaranteed shots only. Nice. That I would back up now. Back up, back up, back up, and go towards the right. Go towards your like far right. Um, you can go into this window here and start shooting these guys potentially soon, or going wide to get better shots. You're gonna lose the city. You just need to get out as much damage as you can right now. Side. Okay, good. Yeah, you're just gonna farm as much as you can. I would focus the concept if you can. Nice. And you trade if you have to. Just get out damage right now. Trade 2 for 1 on this guy if you can. Okay. In this situation, you need his lower plate, I think.
Yeah.
So, back up after this. Oh, unlucky. Go for another shot. They're reload. Okay. Nice try. That was good though. Good end game
Yeah.
damage. The Type 71, they buffed its upper plate now, so even with heat shells, if it's angled pretty well, it's gonna be pretty hard to pen. So you need either a good angle on the upper plate, or you can pen it in the side pretty easy. It's got pretty bad side armor, but you need to hit like the top of the side. You know what I mean? If it hits
Yeah.
like near the tracks, it's gonna bounce. You can also pen his cupola when he's hull down, obviously. But if he turns his turret like 30 degrees, I think you can pen the turret cheeks as well. But
No, once
yeah,
again, that was really helpful because if I'm in a medium, I usually just sit here. You
oh
waste
yeah,
half the game, get no
oh yeah,
damage.
yeah. It's vastly superior to go to G2 and get those initial shots. The other play you can make. Do you want me to go to? You want me to show you something on Strat real quick?
Yeah, sure.
It can be useful for this map. I'll stream it. Let's see. So the other thing that I like to do on this map, you can see, right?
Mhm.
Um, if you get like a decent spawn, and if you're in something that's in the Cente X or like the 430U or faster, I just YOLO into here instantly. But it's sometimes tricky because you have to look at their composition. If they have a ton of like really fast mediums, like in their, especially if they're clip medium tanks, like a TVP, um, then this is pretty risky. You have to make sure that you go as fast as possible, and I really would probably only do it if you're either really fast like a CS63 or a Batchat, or if you have in a slower tank like a 430U or Centex, then you can do it with hardening if you have hardening. Um, it's possible you just get yellowed, yes, but the thing is, if they yellow in and they try to turn and get you, your guys out here can just shoot them. And as long as you survive, even if you're low HP, it's still good because you can just come to this hole down here. There's a hole down here and shoot the field. And it's really good. There's also a tree here. It's like right exactly on my ping. If you knock it over this direction as you're driving in, you'll actually have a bush here. So when you peek this corner and peeking on the field, you don't even get spotted. It's also good for like fast heavies like 277, but like an S-Conk is just too slow to do it for sure because you'll get bled too much from the field in the beginning. But
Okay.
if they take mid, usually they're not gonna go like this. They're just gonna go straight to here, because they need to get safe. So, and you can get safe here, and then you kind of just have a hold down battle with each other.
Mhm.
Ideally, they don't take mid though, and then you can just get here and you just destroy the field. It's a really good position. But yeah, if you aren't confident in taking this spot, this is the best spot. Now, at this spot here, um, it's possible that they overpeak here or overpeak here to just shoot you. So you don't want to go too wide here. You want to be as close to this corner as possible so that they have to overpeak more to shoot you. Um, Especially if you're not spotted, like if no one goes mid and they're just all out here, you can actually go all the way around the corner and just kind of sit in this alleyway and just shoot them and get some early bleed. So yeah, let me stop streaming. Uh, Whoops. Uh, there we go. I think I don't remember exactly how much time I spent on settings, but I think we can do one more.
All right.
It's been an hour 16, and I know some of that was settings and waiting for battles to end, so can do one
Sounds
more.
good with you.
Yep. That was a good thought to go to G1 though. That was the correct rotation there for sure. Once you stop getting use out of mid and it becomes too risky. All right, what do you usually do on this map?
This is another one where I don't know
Okay,
in a
so
medium.
I'll give you a suggestion. And so looking at the team comps, your team has one light tank. They have one light tank as well. There's two arties. I would go to D5, like the right side of it. You want to go to that corner, like F or it's E5, D5, and you just go directly there and then pre-aim the field in the beginning. You can just drive straight over the tank tracks. It's fine. You shouldn't get stuck or anything, so you can just drive straight over them. And then lock your turret to the right a little bit and just like right click and hold it. And that will just let you be ready to aim. Go more to the right and just drive straight forward. Yeah, it's like near that pine tree, roughly. And then you go up and to the left once you get there, and you can get some shots. Your Wheezy 132 is going wide, so go low ground now a little bit, and just go to right here. You see this corner? Right to the left. This is where I start usually, and I just pre-aim the field. Now your Wheezy 132 is making his way up the one line. You see that, right?
Yep.
There could be shots on the field, most likely not, but okay, there's a tank that you might be able to shoot. Nope. But yeah, just kind of chill here for now. Um, One thing you can do here, so oh, you can blind it. You might have peeked. Okay. 1390 is at the bunker. This is where it gets kind of okay. So look at the map. Your can opener is pushing that Sente X. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, he's peeking. Oh, unlucky. I have a feeling that 1305 is eventually gonna die, which could be good. But for now, I would ignore him. He's probably not gonna peek again. I mean, he might, but probably not. And I would just start looking around towards the city. Um, can load heat here and peek this left side carefully. They could have a 4K, so just be careful. Just peek and see what you see. Okay, nothing. All right, you see that bunker up there? On the right side of it, sometimes you can blind it. Like real quick peek and blind it. There's nothing there this battle because the tree's not down, but that's just good to know. For now, I would probably just chill and watch the field actually. Or you could try to shoot this DZT, either or. Like by going unload Apiary, yeah. And blind that G-Star corner maybe. I don't think he's speaking, but maybe. So I'm looking. Game's about even. Might be worth to rotate into the city, because I don't know if this 1390 is not dying as fast as I was hoping he would, so I would rotate probably now. Load heat and go forward, and I would, okay, so on your right here, you can drive up into this mid road here. This is kind of a risky play, and it kind of, you just gotta play it cheekily here, but you can go. Oh, load APCR. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. I thought you would get a track shot. This play might be too aggressive now. I would back up. Yeah, I didn't expect their Yag to just overpeak like that. It's fine though. There's still a lot of HP left. You could either rotate to where that contender is and play hull down. Oh, that's good. 1315. That 1315 will die to Artie eventually. Our Artie's in A1, you see that, right? Load APCR.
Yeah.
Can you rotate back to where you were? Or are you gonna get shot for it? Just be careful. I don't want you to get shot by the DZT. DZT's in that bush. You see that tree was down?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would aim field for now, but make sure you have a shot on the right side of the bunker as well. In case he peeks that. Yeah, from like here maybe. He's our Artie's left side. He should peek that, I think. He's gonna want to kill him. He's 2-shot now. Artie's or 1390 is probably gonna want to kill him, I think. Or the G-Sor might get spotted. Either or. Hopefully our Artie just like hits him. He's doing like 20 damage to him. Our G-Star's pushing, so he has to run. He has to run now. Okay, nice. I would start pushing now. Your team is up a lot. I would go up the 5 line here. Your team is going to start taking the field, so go up the 5 line, like right in front of you. And I would start trying to pressure either to the left or to the right. Either or. I would probably go right. Load heat and just be a bit careful here. This is kind of risky, but I would just ping your team to push the field. And you can start peeking here. Even if you're taking a shot from the G-Sor once in a while, it's okay as long as you don't get YOLO'd by the 4K or something. Okay, G-Sor's peeking. Just back off. Oh, there's a Hori out there. Yeah, you need to get out of here. The Hori is a huge problem. The Hori should get spotted in a second, though. So just try to get safe as best you can from the Hori. Repair. And shoot the Hori now. Hopefully this 4K doesn't YOLO you. You can peek. The 4K is not here. APCR? Okay. APCR will pen his side in that situation. I think. Yeah. Nice. And you just farm now. Hopefully the Artie doesn't shoot you. I would aim for his superstructure side in that situation just for a better chance to hit. Nice. I have a feeling the 4K is going to YOLO you. But, yeah, if you can get one more shot. I would back up now. Just get unspotted for a second. Artie's dead. That's good. Yeah, you can get a shot on this guy probably. Might need heat, I'm not sure. Nope. Nice. And get ready. As soon as you kill this guy, you gotta start pushing for the last guys. Cause and I would risk peeking as well because they have like no HP left. If you die right now, it's not a big deal. Just try to get in there as fast as possible and try to get some damage. Nice. Nice game. Yeah, so there's a lot of like little intricacies to when I would make these kind of rotations and pushes. So it's kind of hard to explain all of it, but if you noticed that play on the 5 line was super aggressive, but I just didn't expect their Hori to be sitting up there in the field, to be honest. But pinging
Yeah.
your team to go field, you can do that play as long as they're pushing the field, and you can potentially shoot the G-Sor or just if the G-Sor is occupied with them, then you can poke up and shoot. It was kind of risky because of the 4K, I'm not gonna lie, but I thought it was worth the risk. I can show you that'll be the last battle, but I can quickly show you some tips on how to play that position if you want me to.
Yeah.
I can do that. I will stream my screen. Siegfried is not an easy medium map for mediums that don't have armor sometimes, but still is a map that can have some potential. So yeah, from north spawn, just drive straight here. Quickest route you can, pretty much. I mean, you can go a little bit wide out to this way, you know what I mean? Just so that you don't get bled if they, I don't know. Just, you can just go like this, kind of. I make it to right here, like I showed you. And what you want to be paying attention for is two main things. Do they have arty? And then also, what is your team doing in the field? Because if no one on your team is going field, then this spot suddenly becomes pretty bad because they can take all the way around, and it's really hard to leave here. You have to drive like this to get out, because if you drive like this shoots you. You know, sometimes the other guy here shoots you, this will shoot you. And you can also get shot through this gap here as you're trying to leave like this. You have to go all the way out like this if you have to leave that position. But just knowing whether your light tank is going to play super passive here or YOLO here, it's best if they YOLO here and get deep vision into here. And you can oftentimes get a shot on their light tank going. The next thing to know about this position, besides just that initial damage on the field, is if they have artillery, if they don't have artillery, I'll oftentimes push up to here. As long as they don't have someone here that can play against me, then you can peek this corner and shoot here. And you're in a cax, so you're not the best hold on the tank, but so you kind of just have to play it by ear and just decide for yourself whether you can get away with peeking it or not. Because if there's just like a Hori sitting here just staring at you, then you obviously can't. But yeah, if you this area here, this corner here, and these corners here, these corners are mostly safe from arty if you play carefully and just hide here. But this corner will get actually just completely pounded by arty if they have arty out here. So you have to be very careful here when they have like two arties, and oftentimes I won't even peek it. The other play you can make later game, I would never do this right away, but later game, if you're like clearing the field especially, is you can push up to here. This spot really gets fucked by arty. So I would only do it if they have one or less arty, and if they have one arty, then I would probably wait for them to fire before peeking, most of the time. Which you can see on the minimap, obviously, when they fire. And from here, you can shoot through here. And yes, like from back here, you can also blind this. You just gotta peek it really quickly because they can spot you in return. So yeah, that's just that general position. That play I was trying to get you to make in this area.
Mm-hmm.
If no one's spotting this, and they don't have out here, and they don't have too much here, and if they don't have somebody here, like, you can sometimes go like this, come into here. And it didn't work this game because their Yag was like peeking around here. But if no one's like in this alley ready to peek, you can come to this corner here and actually shoot people under, like through these arches. There's like these arches on the corner. You can shoot them and get 1 or 2 free shots. Usually you're not going to be able to just like free farm. It's just like a cheeky play you can make, get 1 or 2 free shots and then leave. So yeah, that's pretty much how I play that map.
Sweet.
If it's like impossible to play this area because of the RDs and you're just not getting anything field, then you can make this rotation all the way out and like come to this corner, shoot this, or play play here, watch this gap, or whatever. Yeah, that's generally how I play that side.
All right.